Hello everyone, I am Sakshi Kushwaha and I hope you all are doing great. So, in the previous video we have discussed Matplotlib Library. We have learned how to draw a simple graph in Matplotlib Library, line graph, how to point these multiple points of x and y axis with the help of Matplotlib. So in the today's video, we are going to discuss, like we in the previous video we have already discussed about theory of Matplotlib, history of Matplotlib, what types of graphs are plotted with the help of Matplotlib library, and these are some examples of Matplotlib library. And in this video we are going to discuss default x points. Suppose we do not specify the points on x-axis, they will get default values 0, 1, 2, 3, like consecutive numbers, okay, depending on the length of the y points. uh, for example, if you only give the y points of y-axis, so it takes x-axis by default, okay. So how to like if you have only y-axis, so you have to just write, um, here you have to just write default x points, okay. So you write default x points. Yeah. So from this, firstly, what is the first step? The first step is you have to import the libraries. So you have to just write from matplotlib.pyplot as plt, okay, and as plt, and then you have to import it numpy library from numpy, uh, as and from numpy import and import numpy as np, okay. So you have successfully imported your libraries. You have to just write import here. This is my mistake. Import matplotlib as plt. Yeah. So you have successfully imported the libraries. And what is the second step? You have to initialize x and y coordinates. Initialize the values of x and y coordinates. So here you don't have any x coordinates, so you have to just write y values. Y is equal to np dot array, and here you give some points, like suppose I take random are some I take 4 points, okay. And then we have no x-axis, so you don't need to initialize the x-axis, and here you just write this plot dot plt dot plot only y-axis, because we don't have any x-axis, and here you write plt dot show, okay. Yeah, let's see the required graph. Yeah, you can see here it gives, like suppose I give here 1.5, okay. Then plot the graph, then you see the first point plotted is 2. So in x-axis it is from 0, and this in y-axis it is 2, and the second point is in x-axis it is 1, okay, but in y-axis it is 1.5, okay. And it the third point is 7, so in x-axis it is 2 here, and the in y-axis it is 7, okay. And the fourth point is 8.2, so in the x-axis it is 3, and in the y-axis it is 8.2. So these are some points. So it takes random values, like here if you define x is equal to np dot array here 1, 2, 3, 4, so it gives the same result. And if you don't initialize this, then it takes the same by default, okay. So yeah, you got the same result, okay. So yeah, so now you know about how to plot a graph without initializing x-axis, by only initializing y-axis. So the next assignment for today's is uh, yeah, like you have to know about default x points, okay. Next assignment is apply title x label y label functions and plot a graph for temperatures versus days. It means that you plotted a graph, but no one understand this, like what is the graph, like what is the name of x-axis, what is the name of y-axis. No, nothing is there, nothing description is there. So for plotting a graph, description is very much required. So how to describe our graph? So yeah, so the next point is how to add title. So there's a function for adding a title. You have to just write plt dot title for adding title. Here you write, suppose I give first, uh, here you have to write I give the name FIRST first graph. Okay, and there's a how sorry, here it is a plt. Okay, so there is a function for title, there is a function for giving the x-axis name and y-axis name. You have to just write plt dot x label, and here you give the name, like you give x-axis here, and for giving the y-axis you have to just write y-axis label y-axis. Okay, so these are the functions basically. So you have to just comment it out, and the next step is you have to just so let's plot the graph for temperature versus days. So like define, firstly we have to just import it, like here you already imported Matplotlib and NP. If you only doing this problem for plotting the temperature and graph, you have to just import library every time in your local system, or if you are performing if you are writing any code in your ideally. But as we are write the code in the same file, so no need to import the import again and again the libraries. But for your easiness I write this: import matplotlib uh, matplotlib dot plt, sorry, dot pyplot as plt, and import numpy as np. Okay, yeah. So like if you don't want to define if you don't want to use numpy library, then it is okay, well and good. So you have to just write days here. Days, days are like first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, seventh day, eighth day, ninth day. So I take here nine number of 9 days. Okay, and the temperature increases like we have an array of temperature and we have a array of days. You have to plot this graph. Okay, so yeah, we just run this cell, and then uh, just write here plt dot title uh, mm, temperature. We have to just give the graph of temperature and temperature versus days. Okay, this is the title of our graph. And for plotting, like if you only give the title, and here you just write plt dot sorry plt dot plt dot plot days versus temperature, and here you just write plt dot show. So yeah, you have to just write, like you by giving this these two lines you got this temperature, but by writing this title you got this. So you have to just write here, you have to just write here control V. Okay, so now you got the graph of temperature versus day. This is the graph of temperature. If you want to describe your x-axis and y-axis, which type of axis is, what is the axis of days and temperature, you have to just write here plt dot x label. Here you write days, and here plt dot y label. You have to just write temperature. Okay, run this cell. Now you got this. this is the title of the graph of temperature versus days, and this axis contains the number of days, and this axis contains the temperature. Okay, so this is the final graph of your graph versus temperature. And if here you can see the y-axis started from 24 and the x-axis started from 1. So if you want to describe your both axes from the started from the same point, you have to just add a single line, which is uh, here you add this line here. Axis, so plt dot axis, and here you give the x-axis and starting x-axis point and the ending x-axis point. So ending x-axis point is 9, so I give 10, and the starting y-axis point is 0, and the ending y-axis point is 35. I give 35. Okay, yeah. So I think it gives error for some reason. Yeah. Because you have to give these parameters in the bracket. Okay, yeah, keep in mind. So you have to just write this line with the same code here only, and then run the code. Yeah, now you got your both axes started from 0, and the x-axis from 0 to 10, and y-axis from 35 0 to 35, and your temperature started from the first point is 1 comma 25. So 1, here it is a 1 comma 25, and the second axis is 2 comma 27.6. So here 2 comma 27.6. So this is a your graph of temperature versus days. Okay, so now you got how to give the title of your graph, how to define x label and y label, how to give this axis, how to choose the starting point of our graph. Okay, so I hope you understand all these concepts. And yeah, in this video we cover how to we cover in this video how we cover how to define how to use default x points, and how to give the title and x label y label of the graph, and how to choose a starting and ending point of our graph. So these are all the simple concepts. So in the next video we are going to learn how to change the color of graph, how to design, how to style our graph. So yeah, till then, take care, bye bye, and give your best.